20.000 persone muoiono di cancro ogni giorno. Questo si traduce in 8 milioni di vittime circa ogni anno, mezzo milione delle quali sono americani. Nel frattempo, oltre 1 milione di americani riceve ogni anno una nuova diagnosi di cancro. Queste persone piombano improvvisamente in un tunnel oscuro che cambierà radicalmente la loro vita per molti anni a venire. Di fronte a una sequenza apparentemente infinita di esami medici, controlli, seconde opinioni, ricette, medicinali, nuovi test, operazioni chirurgiche, terapie di supporto, esami di controllo, si ritrovano in completa balia della malattia. Mentre si trova in quel tunnel, ogni paziente alimenta un immenso apparato medico che dà lavoro a centinaia di migliaia di persone, generando milioni e milioni di dollari di fatturato per le industrie medica e farmaceutica. Dai laboratori di ricerca alle scuole di medicina, dalle cliniche di prevenzione alla vendita di farmaci su scala mondiale, oggi l'apparato medico del cancro è talmente esteso e costoso che ha bisogno dei suoi pazienti per sopravvivere, almeno quanto i pazienti abbiano bisogno dell'apparato.
Cancer is a big business, one of the biggest businesses. The typical cancer patient spends at least $50,000 to treat his or her disease. With 1 million new American cancer patients every year, that translates to $50 billion annually spent on cancer treatment in the United States.
La teoria ufficiale sostiene che il cancro abbia origine nella cellula umana.
Cancer is the result of a long process that begins when one of the cells in an organ or tissue becomes damaged or altered in a way that causes it to break free from the normal controls that allow our cells to work together in harmony.
Cancer is a group of over 100 diseases characterized by abnormal, uncontrolled cell growth.
Cancer is a sometimes fatal disease caused by the abnormal growth and division of cells. While normal cells have well-defined walls and nuclei, the uncontrolled growth in cancer cells causes the creation of abnormal, unstructured masses of tissue, known as neoplasms or tumors.
Most cancer-related deaths are due to metastasis, malignant cells that penetrate into the circulatory system and establish colonies in other parts of the body.
The movement of tumor cells to other parts of the body is known as metastasis. Metastasis is a complex process during which cancer cells break off of the original or primary tumor and move through the body to form tumors at new locations. How and where the migrating cells stop is different for different cancer types. Once the tumor cells are no longer moving, they can begin the process of forming a new tumor by leaving the blood vessel and beginning to reproduce in the new location. If the new environment is suitable, the newly arrived cell will begin to grow and a new tumor will develop.
This official theory, also called molecular theory, it's basically the same that was formulated more than 50 years ago.
Cancer begins as a departure from normal cell growth that is harmful and unceasing. If the abnormal cells grow slowly in a limited area, they are called benign tumors. If the cells are spread to other parts of the body, they constitute a malignant tumor, one that is cancerous. Cells of malignant growths break off and travel through the bloodstream to other parts of the body. There, they may start new cancerous growths. In hospitals and elsewhere, progress is being made in the diagnosis and treatment of cancer. But, despite research and improved techniques of treatment, cancer remains man's number 2 killer.
In the last 50 years, the search for the cause of cancer within the human cell has been pushed beyond the limits of anyone's imagination. Despite the millions and millions of dollars poured into this research, however, the results have changed only as little as the theory itself.
Major advances are being made in the detection, prevention, and treatment of cancer. But the mechanisms that trigger malignant cell growth are still not completely understood.
In the meantime, the statistical situation seems to have gone from bad to worse.
Cancer is still the leading cause of death for people under the age of 85. In the United States, 1 in every 4 people die from cancer.
Nonostante i risultati sconfortanti, l'intero apparato medico che ruota intorno al cancro continua ad utilizzare le uniche 3 terapie che siano mai state riconosciute dalle autorità sanitarie: chirurgia, chemioterapia e radioterapia.
Surgery is the oldest technique and the most successful of the 3. But surgery is useful only when the cancer is localized, a minority of cases. Patients also fear radiation's dangerous side effects. One of these is that radiation can actually cause cancer. Chemotherapy is designed to kill cancer cells throughout the body. It is highly toxic, however, and it also kills healthy cells.
Since the 1950s, the outlook for most cancer patients has remained the same: a 1 in 3 chance of living for 5 years after diagnosis using conventional therapies, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, drugs. The fact is that today, 2 out of 3 American cancer patients will be dead before 5 years.
If conventional therapy has such limited results, why isn't the medical profession willing to investigate alternative approaches?
La risposta a questa domanda si trova forse in alcuni eventi storici che hanno avuto luogo quasi un secolo fa, quando la medicina ufficiale riuscì finalmente ad avere il sopravvento sui cosiddetti medici empirici, che curavano i pazienti con erbe e rimedi naturali.
The AMA joined with strong financial forces to transform medicine into an industry. The fortunes of Carnegie, Morgan, and Rockefeller financed surgery, radiation, and synthetic drugs. They were to become the economic foundations of the new medical economy. Surgery became viable with anesthesia and infection control, and doctors advocated expensive, radical operations. These in turn produced the need for a large, lucrative hospital system. Radium fever swept medicine. The price of radium rose 1,000% almost overnight. Another costly technological industry entered the hospital system. A drug industry grew out of the booming patent medicine business. Doctors changed educational standards and licensing regulations to exclude the empirics. Soon, only AMA-approved doctors could legally practice medicine. In a brief 20 years, the AMA came to dominate medical practice. Organized Medicine launched a media campaign to associate the empirics with quacks. The code word for competition was quackery.
A questo punto dovrebbe essere evidente che qualunque cura per il cancro che non richieda l'uso completo ed intensivo e possibilmente ripetitivo del sistema esistente non sarebbe semplicemente accettabile, al di là della sua eventuale efficacia. Anzi, più semplice e meno costosa risultasse la cura, paradossalmente, maggiori sarebbero gli ostacoli che incontrerebbe per essere riconosciuta dal sistema vigente.
Anything that comes from nature cannot be patented. They're not interested in that. But what they are interested in, finding something, perhaps within something in nature, if they can find some subcomponent that they can extract and then make it a man-made chemical that works the same way, then they can patent that, then they're interested, but not if it comes from nature, and it doesn't make any difference whether it works. So, we translate that into the real world of FDA approval. Surely these drug companies aren't going to spend $20 million or more testing any substance from nature because it can't be patented. That, and of course the FDA says it's illegal to use unless it's been tested for efficacy and safety. Now you see the catch-22 you're in there. Nothing from nature, regardless of how effective it might be, will ever be proven safe or effective according to the FDA. It'll never be. Because nobody's going to spend the money to go through the test. So therefore, everything from nature will always be condemned by the FDA as unproven, an unproven cancer cure.